Hey YouTube, it's Acoustic Stevo, the Crypto Bard, making his way into the cryptoverse. Join me on my journey. Let's have some fun. All right. Um, I see the live chat's connected, so if anyone comes on here, please type in the chat. I want to see if it actually shows through into this app that I'm using. Um, I am seeing it sideways though, so I might have some phone orientation issues. I'm gonna go and check that right now. Still trying to get everything going the way I want it. And it's yeah. There's always things that aren't quite the way you want them to be. I like to I have a phone stand, so this orientation of sideways is always good for me. But oh look, it looks like the orientation changed. So good. It looks like when I get out of the app, that app screen setting, it kind of changes. I'll know in a second and when I see the actual video change right here. Looks like my health is good. Oh, it works. Cool. So I'm going to be coming back in here from time to time because I can see my live chat over here. I wrote, hello, email me at stephenmartinpoetry@gmail.com and I'll send you a Google Hangouts invite to join because I have until about 11:40 just to hang out, and I have some ideas for some things we can do. Um, I could do some live astrology readings. That'd be cool. So if you know your time of birth and place of birth, you can get me that information somehow, whether it be sending it to that email I just gave you, or if you're cool putting it in the chat, and we can actually go online and pull up your chart, and I can do a natal chart reading. I think that'd be fun. As well as I'm just going to noodle around on my guitar until people show up, so I'm going to be playing some live music. As well as I might look at my poetry because I was reading my poetry for a long time, and I'm kind of have a backlog of poetry, but I kind of want to read it at some point, so I might catch up at least partially on my poetry and read some of that. Hey, Studio Geek, thanks for typing in the live chat. I was wanting to see if it actually comes through to my little apps live chat that says it's connected, but I don't see it coming through. Maybe it takes a second. That's another thing I want to do. I want to tell people what I'm doing, so if they want to do something similar, they can figure it out. I'm on an app on my phone. It's called Ace Live Streaming. That's ACE. And I don't really have a way to do a computer live stream or really anything. I make my videos on my phone for the most part. I just don't have money to buy a computer, and all the computers that I've had are broken or in disarray and aren't really working for me. So I'm using apps because I have a pretty decent phone. I had some phone issues. I broke my old phone. I had a new phone, but it was just a hand-me-down from a friend to get me by until I could get this phone. Now this is my wife's old phone because we had the same phone, and she actually wanted a new phone and knew what she wanted, so we got her a new phone and she gave me her old phone, which is the phone that I like anyways. It's the one that I broke, but it's just hers. So what I'm doing is I'm on Ace live streaming, and if you a lot of times the live streaming doesn't work nowadays, like through, I don't know if they're fixing this or what, but the last time I tried, I used to use the YouTube gaming app a lot, and it won't let me anymore because I don't have enough whatever they tell you gotta have. And I used to do it that way. So instead of using that app, there are a couple different apps. This is one of them, Ace Live Streaming. It's got this snowfall thing that's kind of like a watermark type thing to make you want to pay for it, but I ain't got no money. I'm not paying for it, so I just use their free version. And what you can do is you can link your YouTube channel, and then it just, because you could still stream, it's just YouTube isn't allowing you to do it through their apps like they were, at least on the phone end. I don't know about the other end. So Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm using Ace live streaming, and it's really cool. You can bring up your face here. You could put that on. You could bring up your screen. I use it a lot because I like to share my screen, whatever I'm looking at. It's got this little live chat thing, but I don't think it works. At least it says mine's connected, but it's not really functional because I don't see people's chats come through. So, well, thanks, Studio Geek. So, for the most part, and I know it has pretty decent sound. My cell phone in general does when I use this stuff because I listen back to it. So for me, it's what I'm using to kind of get through and do what I'm doing. And I guess I'll just kind of have to hang out in here a little bit so I can actually see the live chat. And that's cool. That's fine. It works. I'm all about finding workarounds. That's how I do things. If something doesn't work, I just keep at it until I figure it out. And that's kind of it. So, you know what I was thinking, Studio Geek? I would love to, at some point, collaborate with you on a song, and I would love you to play the drums. And you see, I have a bass guitar and I have a regular guitar, and I can't play the drums for the life of me. Like, I used to have a drum set, but I got rid of it just because I really didn't have enough time to add another instrument, and I've always been rhythmically challenged, so to speak. So what I'm thinking is, there's this. I haven't really got on and checked it out as much. I don't. I noticed that you've played the drums on other people's stuff. I'm not really sure how you did that. Like if you just shared videos back and forth. But I don't really have. You can see I'm doing this from a phone. I don't really have the capabilities on my end to actually edit and make everything come together the right way. Really, all I can do is record a video. So there is a site where you can kind of like it splits the screen up, and everyone that does their part that they kind of post in there and can do it that way. Or possibly I could just record videos and send them to you. And if you have the capability, you could put the drums in. So like I could for instance use this app because it doesn't have to be just streaming. It can also you can also just record video with it or something similar. And I could like for instance play the guitar part and then put the headphones on, and while I'm watching it back, open up a window like the one you're seeing me in now and play the bass part over top of the video of the guitar part, and then then maybe open another video for singing or something like that. Sound drop. I will look into that. I appreciate you telling me about that. But yeah, I'll look into that one. And what I'm getting at though is I would love one of my original songs to have drums. Because that's nothing I usually can't do that. Like, or if I do, it sounds cheesy because I do it with a keyboard or something, and it's not what I want. I want actual live drums. So I would really appreciate that. And I have a couple different songs to choose from. I'll probably pick one that's more upbeat, and we could figure that out. Can you see in the live chat the message that I put in before I started this live stream that has my email address in it? StephenMartinPoetry@gmail.com. Cool. Because if you can see that, then I'm probably going to get rid of this chat box if it doesn't work. I'm pretty certain it doesn't because I haven't seen your chats come up on it yet. I am going to... What I could do is... if you emailed me, then we could talk on there and figure out how it'd be best to do it. Like if I'll check out that app and maybe it will be self-explanatory and I'll be able to come up with a plan, but I might need your help in actually figuring the whole thing out. So you can always email me at that email address. And yeah, I think that would be awesome. Even if, for instance, I'm not the type of person who's really looking to do stuff for my channel, so to speak. I'm just trying to be creative. Like, I just enjoy the creativity. Yeah, but Smule costs money. You see, I'm broke. I can't spend money on anything. So, like, when I say that, I mean, I'm seriously, all I spend money on is paying bills. Like, I don't buy anything for myself. So, I guess I could, I'll check out those apps. Hopefully, they don't cost money. If they do, then I don't know if I can do them or not. Well, we might have to figure out some other way. But, what I'm getting at is I don't know if you're doing all the editing and stuff, you could have the video. Like, if you want the video, you can have it. Like, I don't even need it. I just want to be creative and do something. So I think that'd be cool. Like, to actually, for you, if you wanted it, you could post one of my original songs on your channel with your drums and everything, and that would just be where the video lives. So, all right, cool. I'm glad you sent me an email. I'll be talking to you on the email. But right now, I'm just kind of hanging out. My wife is she's got an event. She has a product that she sells, or a few products, and she's at a food truck rally with my oldest son, and they are representing their company. It's called Benny U, like Benefit You. So that's BENEYOU. And if anyone out there sees this video and they want some good products, Benny U has some great ones. They have like drink sticks that are all natural. I use them all the time. Like, I'm a vegetarian, so I need to somehow get vitamin B. And one of their drink sticks has like 100% of all the vitamin B I'd ever need. So I pretty much do one of those a day. It's called Go, so it's actually even kind of like an energy type thing, but it doesn't have all that nasty stuff that energy drinks have. So, yeah, and they have a bunch of different types. They have a drink stick that's more of a like anti-inflammatory, like health-based one that kind of gives you good stuff just for your health, and it's called Core because it's supposed to like help you with the core of your health, I guess. And then they got one called Soul that kind of has stuff to help you relax, all natural like herbs and stuff in it that kind of put you in a nice zen type feeling in your body. I like to at night kind of relax with one of those sometimes. They're hydration sticks, so they're to kind of get you to drink water, but they have good stuff in them. Like, so. Also, she does nails because they combined with her company that she used to do a long time ago called Jamberry. So now Jamberry's underneath the umbrella of Benny U, as well as those drink sticks. They're also under that umbrella, and then they have gut health stuff. So that's what she's doing today. So I actually have time to myself. I don't get that very often because usually I'm with my family all the time when I'm not working. So my creativity kind of suffers because I'm not going to have my family suffer for my creativity. I've done that. I've made that mistake, and all it does is it's not good. And so I find my own ways. Like, for instance, this Poetry 365 challenge that I'm doing, I'm writing a poem every day. And so what I do usually is if I'm working on my lunch break, that's when I'll write my poem. Or, if I don't get time because I'm doing something else on my lunch break, then I'll write it before I come home. Because once I'm home, I like to be with my family and not have like distractions and stuff that they don't like. They want my attention, and I don't blame them. They kind of deserve it. So, yeah, if you could give me a link to SoundDrop, I would appreciate it. And I'm glad it's free. That sounds like it's something that will work. You would know. You're the man. So I will definitely check that out. And another thing I'm doing right now, though, is I want to do some natal chart astrology readings. And what that is basically you look at it like the timestamp of when people are born and where all the planets are placed in what's called a natal horoscope or natal chart. And what it is, it's a circle, and it's divided into 12 houses, which correspond to the 12 zodiac signs. And when you're born, the planets are always moving throughout the heavens, so they're in different zodiac signs at different times of the year. And so what happens is when you're born, the time that you're born gets put on the horizon or the one of the lines on it, and that starts your first house. So that's like the very where the sun was in the heavens. Like if you were to take a arrow and shoot at the sun, that line would keep going past the sun out into the heavens, and that whatever sign is backing the sun, at that point in time, because the sun, it moves across the horizon, so it moves across the heavens the entire day and night. So that's called your rising sign, and then that starts all your houses. So from your rising sign, every 2 hours it changes the actual sun changes houses, so it just kind of sets up where all the rest of the zodiac falls, and then you put all the planets inside that wherever they're at, and wherever in whatever house your planets are in and the sign they're in, you can read and kind of interpret the information that you get from that. So that's what a natal chart reading is. So if anybody pops in here and they want a natal chart reading, all they have to do is get me the information of the time they were born and the place they were born, and we can go online and pull up and do a chart for them, and I can give a little reading, and that'd be kind of fun. So if that happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I planned on just kind of playing some music, unless somebody wanted a natal reading, as well as Google Hangouts. So if anyone wants to do a Google Hangout, that's one of the cool things about this app that I'm on, is you could pull up any other app. All this is doing is sharing my screen. So for instance, right now what you see in the background is just Google Chrome open to my YouTube page. And then on my YouTube page, because I'm on my phone, you got to select desktop view instead of just the normal view. And then it lets you kind of do it like you're on a computer. It gives you the same visual experience as if you were on a computer. You could do a lot more, because if you have it on the mobile stuff, it's pointless. You're not going to be able to do what you want to do. So that's what I have in the background, but I could put anything in the background. So I could put a Google Hangouts call in the background. So if somebody wants to do a Google Hangout, that's another thing I'm going to be willing to do here for the next hour or so. I got till about 11:40. So I'm going to play music. I'm going to do astrology readings. And if anyone wants to do a hangout and just talk and chat and hang out, we can do that as well. As well as I think I might read some of my poetry and just kind of catch up a little bit. Because I was kind of reading my poetry and posting it, but I've been really busy. I just haven't had time. And yeah, there's a lot. I haven't really been on YouTube a whole lot. My phone went down. That caused me complications. So I haven't really had the time to catch up on it. So I think I might do that as well. I might play. I think I'm going to start with the music. Oh, man, I hope you feel better there, dude. I totally understand that. Studio Geek's sick. That's never good, especially on a Saturday. That's like your day off of school. And to be sick, oh, man, that's a bummer. So I'm going to start with just playing some music. Studio Geek, I know if you're not feeling well, you might pop out at any time and go do your own thing, but I appreciate you stopping by, and if you want to hang out, that's awesome too. But I'm going to play some music now. I just posted a video of a song that I wrote a long time ago, and it's called "Must Have Been a Dream." I haven't posted it for a while, and I felt like playing it yesterday, so I did, and I posted it. But I played some other songs too, and I recorded them, but I didn't end up posting them. I didn't think that I did a good enough performance, really. So I'm gonna be, probably in these next few months, I'm just gonna be posting some of my original songs, just live performances of them. I've done that before on videos, but that doesn't mean just because I've played a song once and put it up on YouTube, I can't do that again. So keep a lookout for some of my original songs. I'll be posting them. And I did one yesterday, and I'm just going to play that one right now. Might as well, since I've been practicing a little bit since I posted it yesterday. So it's called "Must Have Been a Dream." it must have been a dream when I looked in your eyes. Took me by surprise and made me recognize that my love for you will not fade away. Must have been a dream, but it's here to stay. And it must have been the way you move, the way that you walk. Must have been the way you smile, or the way that you talk, or the way the light dances off your face. Must have been our loving moments of sweet embrace. Well, it must have been you. Well, it must have been you. Well, our love is like a song with a sweet melody, sweeps me off my feet and then sets me free. And my love for you will not fade away. Our love is like a song that is here to stay. And it must have been the way you move, the way that you walk. Must have been the way you smile, or the way that you talk, or the way the light dances off your face. Must have been our loving moments of sweet embrace. Well, it must have been you. Well, it must have been you. Well, it must have been a dream when I looked in your eyes. Took me by surprise and made me recognize your love. Man, my voice cracked a few times on that, but yeah, it must have been a dream. That's a potential song, Studio Geek. The only thing about that song is it's kind of a weird rhythm, and it's kind of like finger picking guitar based. And I don't know. It might not be the best one to do something to. So here's one though that I'm thinking that's more like rhythm based. So, and it's called The Blue Beyond. I haven't played this in a while, so I'll probably screw it up. I haven't really been practicing guitar much because I haven't had time, but it sucks, you know. Excuses. But here we go. This one's called The Blue Beyond. Alright. Here we go. Of the darker I have dwelled upon the shores of all our mothers, where water-weary seagulls trail over waves of endless sound. Nighttime bides or squalor well with knots of vanity in hair, until the shoreline wakes a jolting, formless entities impaired. The seaboard life is all but merry, when to plank your last goodbye, lingering on lips of sherry, beckoning wearily to the sky. I, the crewman, hear him homeless, except upon the ocean's bones. Into blackness I will wander, only for my own to own. Often women try and tame me, turn my head and eyes away, but this blowing tempest named me, under her I'll always be. The seaboard life is all but merry, when to plank your last goodbye, lingering on lips of sherry, beckoning wearily to the sky. Never too long, feet on dirt, stomach lurching at the sea, a wild race from port to stern, the blue beyond is calling me. Never too long, feet on dirt, stomach lurching at the sea, a wild race from port to stern, the blue beyond is calling me. The seaboard life is all but merry, when to plank your last goodbye, lingering on lips of sherry, beckoning wearily to sky. Alright, it's called Lips of Sherry or Blue Beyond. And yeah, I think that might be the song I'd like to collab on, because I'm sure I can get a rockin' bass line going to that, and some guitar. I might even come up with some lead or something. And it's real basic and easy, and it's got rhythm through the whole thing. So I think that might be a good song to collab on if I'm going to get some live drums going from Studio Geek. That'd be awesome. Alright, so now, you know what? I think I'm going to take a break and pull up some of my poetry and read some of that. We'll do that for a little while. I'm not really 100% sure where I left off, so I don't even know if there's a way I can figure that out. You know what? There is, though. That's the cool thing about it, is I can pull up YouTube and look at my last poetry video and scroll to the end and see what my last poem was and start from there. So that's what I'm going to do. So, you know, I got this live chat and it says it's connected, but it's obviously not. I wonder if there's a way I can get rid of it. Oh, now it says live chat connected again. I don't know. Maybe it just really connected. Who knows? We'll see. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to go to my YouTube. And shrink this a little so it don't get in my way. Put this up here. Shrink myself. There's YouTube. And I gotta go to my library. Cool, I can see my stream right there. So, every time I hit that, it says live chat connected. I don't think my live chat really is connected. Maybe one day I'll see something come up on this, but see, that's one of the things. I like this app, Ace, but the live chat's obviously not really working good. And I got this snow, which I don't really mind that much, but every time it kind of does make it hard to see sometimes. Not real hard, but it's a little annoying in that way. So there are some things that might send me looking for a new app, but at the same time, I'm kind of getting the functionality out of it, so I might just leave it how it is. But what we're going to do now, we're going to go to my videos, and we are going to find my last poetry video, and find out how far I am in my poetry sharing. Poetry 365 week 9. Let me make sure there's not another Poetry 365 video. I don't think so. Nope. Alright, so that's the one. We're going to go into Poetry 365 week 9. And I'm just going to go to the end and find the last poem. And it was a long day for me. So, I haven't done a recap. Let's see where we are. My other poem's out, and I missed yesterday, so that's what this video is. Have a good one. Oh, too far. Let's go here. Rewind a bit. Stop hoping for things that are free. Work hard to escape the clawed hand. See, I was in the middle of doing, I was doing this section where I was doing, so that's one about corporate brands. And I do believe I have already done this one, because this would have made this one Sunday. So I am done. Alright, so stop buying the corporate brands. Which will be tomorrow. So, let me pause that. Recording a video. So, what I was saying was I was in the middle of through the month of March, I did sonnets. And I've never really been a big sonnet guy, but I wanted to do something like for an extended thing to kind of get myself used to actually not just having this dispersed energy that can go anywhere, which is kind of how I operate, but it's not really the most efficient way to operate. And that's one of my things I'm working on in this life, is becoming more efficient and practical and routine and structured so that I can actually manifest in a better way instead of a way that doesn't work. So that was part of the reason why I chose to do a whole month of sonnets, because it's kind of a structured style, and I do like using rhyme and meter, so I was having fun with it as well. But I think that was about halfway through my sonnet section of my challenge. So I remember, I think it's called something like Stop Buying the Corporate Brand. So I'll go find the poetry, and we will do this. We'll catch up to where I want to catch up. So, we're going to go now back onto Chrome, and I'm going to open another window. See, this is so cool that I could do this. I don't know if I'm one of the only people doing this, where I'm actually just using my phone like this, and I've got it figured out to the point that I've got it figured out. But, yeah, I like doing it. It's fun. Right here is my Steemit blog. That's probably the best place to read my poetry from. So if you want, go check out. I post every day a poem on Steemit, and it's really easy to find. It's just, you can see it there, at Acoustic Stevo. So if you type in steemit.com/@AcousticStevo, you'll come right to my page. And we're going to go to the blog portion, which pulls up everything that I post every day. And we will see, the cool thing about Steemit is you could share other people's stuff too. It's called curating, and you can get rewards for curating other people's stuff. Like, say you find a post you think is going to get really popular. If you re-steam it, where you see where it says re-steamed, and you upvote it, I think your upvote is what causes you to get the curation rewards. Say you're one of the first people to upvote it. If it becomes really popular, a quarter of whatever revenue the post generates gets divided amongst the first certain amount of people that upvote the post. So, for instance, I've shared this one, and it made 88 cents, so a quarter of that is going to go towards the people that upvoted it. And then it's like, I think it's staggered, like I think, of that 25%, it gets done on like not a linear curve. I'm not really exactly sure how it goes, but I know like the first certain amount of people get most of it, and then it kind of peters out after you get higher up in the people that have shared it. So that's how that kind of works. Well, that's one of the cool things about Steemit that I think is cool. So I've written a lot of poetry since I stopped reading it, so I'm going to have to just kind of zoom, go through all this. Blah. Alright, let's find, where am I? It's also fun to read poetry when you got, like, Snow falling. We'll see how this goes. I've written a lot of poetry since then. Wow. This is going to be a chore just getting to it. I apologize. But it is what it is. I kind of know where I'm going with this, though. This last month. Alright, now I'm getting into it, I think. Getting closer. Wow. There we go. Sonnet. I was calling these sonnets. But I was just numbering them, so I'll just have to remember. I know it was right next to the one with the twin flames, so I remember that graphic. So I'll just find that, and we will be on our way. I don't know how long I'm going to do this. I might not do it that long. I might just get through the sonnets and then leave the rest of them for another time, because I have written a lot since then. Sonnet 23. Come on. Sonnet 17. I know it was one near the twin flame graphic. I hope I haven't passed it. No, I'm just in La La Land. Although I might be, because I don't remember it being this far into the beginning of the challenge, and now I'm on like Sonnet 5. So, there's Sonnet 3 though. Let's see here. I obviously passed it, so I gotta keep an eye out for that and scroll back. Luckily, when I scroll back, I don't think it needs to reload the pages so many times. I appreciate you bearing with me if you're actually here. Although I don't know if you would, if I'd know if you're here, because my live chat, although it says it's connected, I'm fairly certain it's not. That might be something on my part that's screwed up. Maybe I can fix it. I don't know. Alright. Where is this twin flame graphic? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was at the beginning. I'm not going to go too much further into this because I'm getting towards. Maybe it's towards the end. Maybe I got. I was sharing a lot of other people's stuff right around then. Okay, well, I just passed it all, man. Well, wow. That's disheartening. I'm going to have to really search. Ah, there we go. Stop buying the corporate brands. There it is. So that was the last one I read. So then I would go to surviving. So that looks like I don't know. Maybe it wasn't even to the sonnets yet or something. I'm not sure. Or maybe I'd made it through. I don't know. Let me check something real quick. Shine. Oh, I hadn't even gotten to the sonnets. Oh no, that's weird. Or maybe I went backwards. That's very possible. Let me go back and check that video. I apologize for this, but I don't want to repeat. So, let's check this out again. Maybe I just had each day for my sonnets. I just kind of needed to get my other poems out, and I missed yesterday, so that's what this video is. I kind of explained it there at the end, but it's been so long. And so we will now read yesterday's sonnet. Okay, this was yesterday's. I'm doing a sonnet every day this month. And this one. So I think I was doing them backwards. I was. So that's why I'm like confusing myself here. So sonnet number 5 was the last one I did. Gosh. This is what happens when you have your South Node in Pisces. Your organization skills and everything are not on point at all. So I apologize. But now we're going to go back over here and find sonnet number 6, and that's where we'll start. Alright, sonnet number 6. I don't know if, maybe I'll just go through a certain number of sonnets, because there's like a bunch to go, and I don't think that's what I want to take up this entire thing with, so I'm just going to read a few of these. Alright, this one, sonnet number 6. Why dance to the song of the clockwork elves? The rhythm seems to be detrimental. Instead, let's call upon our higher selves, and not be fooled by the elemental. The light children are ready to come out. Call them up with openness to the truth. Travel through the doors and raise a loud shout, knocking over walls of forgotten youth. Fly into the night and point your finger. Then curl it back and beckon your demons. Smash them to pieces, or they might linger. Free from the portal your daughters and sons. Their futures can be something much better if from these dark beings we untether. Alright, so that's that. Let's go back and we will read the next one. So that was... I hit back. Nothing happened. There we go. Sonnet number 7. I try to post... Oh, this thing's wanting to screw with me. I'm going to hit back because I don't... Oh my gosh. It is annoying. I wonder if I just type acoustic Stevo. No, that won't work. I'm going to have to do it this way. So, blog. I shouldn't have hit back. I think that was what my problem was. I hit it twice because I'm impatient. And the first time it didn't immediately register. But then it eventually registered and made me hit it twice, which screwed everything up. So now I know I'm on sonnet number 7. But now all this has got to load and snare. I won't do that again, though. I won't kick myself out again. There we go. Now I'm getting back into the sonnets. I'm going to go check my chat here in a minute to see if anyone has said anything. If anyone's here, I want to make sure I acknowledge them and say hi. See, I accidentally got myself into one. Now I'm going to wait for it to actually go backwards. I'm not going to hit it twice. Make sure it's actually loading. There we go. Okay, so let's see. I could have messed myself up again there, but I didn't. Thank goodness. We're looking for sonnet number 7. I think I'm just going to do up to 10, and then I'll go back to playing some music. But after I read 7, I'm going to go and check my chat. There's 8, so 7's coming. Here we go. Sonnet number 7. One cool thing is Pixabay, you could get free pictures on. Like, the people that put them there, they don't make you do anything. You don't even have to say where you got it. But, you know, I put source so people know where I got it. But it's really cool. I really like Pixabay. So here we go. A new way is emerging very fast, and aeons are rebirthing ancient souls. A link to events from our stolen past, soon to be combined with angelic goals. Despair not, my Lumerian archetype. Rather celebrate your ascending love. Stand tall as you ride this gnarly half-pipe. Your heart remains pure when push comes to shove. Delight in the vibrancy of your peace. It has been hard-won and should be enjoyed. The vaccination of social disease has led to an army being deployed. They fight for the betterment of mankind. They war for advancement of the divine. All right, so that was number 7. And I'm going to check my live chat. See if anybody's in there. Hey, Recycle Dude! It's snowing for sure. Faith in the Fallen. Hey. Thanks for stopping by, you guys. I wish that this little window here that I'm moving around where it says live chat connected actually worked. But in the meantime, this is what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going through my poetry. If either of you are still here, I'm also doing astrology readings. And the way, if you want to get one, we could do that, is you would send me your birth chart or your birth date and time, and I could go online and pull up your birth chart, and we could just do a little reading right now. So you could either do that by emailing me at stephenmartinpoetry@gmail.com, all one word. That's, well, Stephen Martin Poetry, but it's Stephen is spelt with a PH. Or you could just drop it here in the chat, and if I see it, I'll pull it up. So, welcome, you guys. I don't know if you're still here or not, but thanks for stopping by. So I'm going to go back and read some more poetry, and then I'm going to play some music. And if anyone wants to do a Google Hangout, that's the other thing I'm doing right now. I got 35 more minutes. So, yeah. So that's, if you want to do a Google Hangout, email me and let me know that you emailed me, and I will get that going, send you a link, and we can do that. So that's the other thing I'm doing right now. All right, so back to the poetry, and we are doing now sonnet number 8. Let's see, I got to be patient. I'm not. I know it's reloading, though, and if I hit it again, it's going to mess me up. I don't want to get messed up. So that's somebody else's stuff on my... cool thing about Steam, I like curating people's art. That's what I do. I look for posts of other creative people, and I put those on my blog. It's called re-steaming. All right, so we're going to do Sonnet 8. And I've been listening to Joe Rogan quite a bit because he's long format. It's easy for me to put on while I drive, and I can just listen, and I don't have to worry about nothing. So here we go. Joe Rogan and Jack Dorsey talk Twitter, each with a representative at hand. Their discourse is pleasant and not bitter. So now we have a way to understand that, in fact, bias is part of the plan. You can't misgender another user, or you will be penalized with a ban, regardless of if you're an abuser. Inclusivity is what they espouse as a reason to manipulate speech, projecting the behavior of a mouse upon those with a narrative to preach. This line of thought does not follow logic. More than that, it could end up as tragic. And that's about, I'm about freedom of speech. I'm a freedom of speech advocate. So, although I don't ascribe to misgendering people and all that, I think that if somebody in their core beliefs believes the right thing to do is call a transgender woman I don't like it. If somebody does call a transgender woman he, I will have something to say about it because I have my own opinion on it. But I think they have every right to say it without being shut down, because I don't believe the way to go about our society is to stop people from hearing things, because all that creates is weak people who, I guess, have ascribed to the notion that if they hear something, it's gonna mess them up, right? I can hear, anybody can tell me anything about anything, and it's not gonna mess me up. That's part of becoming a strong individual, and the only way you can become a strong individual is by allowing yourself to be exposed to things that you don't believe and that you think are wrong, and then use critical thought to come up with your own ideas and back it up with real stuff. Go search, and don't ever cement your thoughts into like a total belief that you can't change with new information. That's another tip I'll give you. But this whole idea that if somebody says something hateful online, they should no longer have a platform. This whole deplatforming thing doesn't work for me. And as a matter of fact, I'll speak out against that. It's way too 1984 for my comfort. And that type of thing leads to totalitarianism. And especially with Google wanting to get their fingers into China and work with social engineering over there. We got to keep our eye on this stuff, folks. So that's what this sonnet is about. It's not about me being somebody who wants to go around misgendering people. I'll tell you that much. It's the exact opposite. But if somebody does do that, we shouldn't be kicking them off a platform. All right. Enough of my pulpit preaching. So next, like I said, I'm going to go up to 10. So I got 2 more and then I'll play some music. All right. So looks like I was still on the kick with Joe Rogan's podcast. So here we go. Sonnet number 9. They say our planet is getting warm quick and blame it on our industrial strides, giving us reason to see it as sick, telling us that we have got to choose sides. Some think that the science is uncertain, disparaging the mainstream narrative. Others work hard to pull back the curtain, to wake up the masses so we may live. As beings in harmony with the earth, we'll see if it's too late for reversal, or if we can give our kids what they're worth and put on a show with no rehearsal. Greed may be a vice we cannot afford and may give way to the might of the horde. It's kind of a scary thought there. But what's going on this planet is crazy, man. I think, personally, that they are spraying our skies. I think the chemtrails speak for themselves. And I think that they're doing that because there is something going on that our industrial society's created. And it's their way of keeping the weather from getting so crazy that the citizens in the United States' eyes get snapped open in a heartbeat. So in order to keep that from happening, they're spraying the skies and they're manipulating the weather, but that's creating a lot of problems because it's heavy metals and it's getting into our organic selves and all the animals and all the plants in the water and everything that we interact with, and we're consuming it because it's on our crops. It's in our crops. It gets absorbed into their cells. And we're living a toxic life. And really, it's really scary. But you can't just act like it's not happening. And I'm not even 100% sure it's happening. Because they're pretty good at their job of misinformation and disinformation. And you can't turn on the news and see what I just said as what's being told us. So therefore, I'm like put in this fringe category of people that believe conspiracy theories, all right? But I didn't just come to this conclusion lightly, nor is it a conclusion that I'm like 100% sure of. It's something that I'm still researching because if I could scientifically understand all the chemtrails that I'm seeing as contrails, I could easily say those are contrails, but it's just not working out for me. And it's something I'm not a scientist, so it's something that I'm not 100% convinced that they are chemtrails, but more and more I am leaning that way. I'll put it that way. And this is about geoengineering, this sonnet, as on this particular podcast, David Wallace Wells was on, and he just wrote a book about, global warming and what's going to happen to our planet and maybe some solutions. And he brought something up that I thought was kind of cool. They have these machines that are able to, or at least they're working on it. It's hopefully going to happen, that are able to go up into the sky and suck out all the carbon that's causing, everything to happen, the industrial stuff we're pumping into the air all the time with everything. And somehow they suck all this stuff in, and they're able to, what comes out is clean. And it would cost a lot of money, but it's less than we spend on a lot of other things. So it's a possibility for actually solving the problem, as well as people just understanding that rampant consumerism is not beneficial, and it's going to hurt our children. I think that's the best way to go about it, because people love their children, right? So if you could put it at as a way that they can understand that, just buying and buying all these plastic products and just disposing and throwing away trash and everything that we're doing all the time as human beings, just living, especially in America, like it's just easy to do and not a big deal, is causing major problems. And it's so tied into our economy. Like there's a fear if people don't buy enough stuff, it's going to hurt our economy, and that might be a little bit real. But at the same time, that might be something that we need to do to actually not totally destroy our planet, because I really do think that it's a possibility that our planet's in a lot worse shape than what we are being told. And I think the only solution is for the people that live on the planet to understand what's going on. And it kind of it really pisses me off that we're not able to get a clear, concise narrative on this. And it's just all these talking heads that don't know what they're talking about, that are broadcast to everyone. And it just, all it does is add to confusion of everyone that might actually care and do something in their own lives if they were given the best information and we knew it was reliable and not some political agenda. And the other thing about it is, I don't want the governments of the world to be involved in the solution to this problem in a way where they dictate to us things that we have to do that mandate that we give up freedoms. That's not going to work. That will never work. That will just be totalitarianism, where they just use this as a way to achieve totalitarianism. And I'm telling you, that's a real reality, folks. We can't let the government solve things for us. We have to do it ourselves. We have to be a different type of person than what's existed in the past. We have to, in our own local communities, start figuring out what's really going on first, and not being afraid to talk about it, and to come up with solutions on our own, to organize things on our own, to do things on our own, and to stop living for consumerism. And if we don't, we're in trouble. We really are. That's me on my soapbox again, but we only got one more sonnet to get through. Hopefully it's not one of these preachy ones, or I might go off on another one of those. Oh, we'll see. Come on. Alright. So now we're on sonnet number 10. I think this one's about love, so it shouldn't be too heady. Alright. Men often live for the love of their mates, ready to give everything up at once, scaling high towers to thus demonstrate, laboring to purchase a rock for months. The truth is that companionship is great, extending the days of many a groom. Remember, young ones, that it locks your fate. Make sure you're ready to stay in the room. Choose with discretion the one to adore. Pick the friend that will answer with intent. Don't fall in a trap and make love a chore. Rather, make it a goal to reinvent. Don't get me wrong, at times it will be tough, for love is a game, that calls every bluff. I think that one speaks for itself. I don't really need to explain it or justify it in any way. So that's the poetry. I'm going to go back and check my chat real quick, say hi to some peeps, and then I'm going to play some music. See if anybody... I'm going to check my email too, see if anybody sent me an email. Actually, I'll do that right now. Studio Geek sent me an email. Yay, we're going to collab. I wanted some drums, and I know he's a good drummer, and I have no way of getting drums, so he's going to help me out with that. So it looks like Studio Geek has sent me an email, so that's awesome. And he sent me a link to a program, and that's cool too. It's what's it called again? Sound Drop. So that might be a way that some other of us can collab as well. All right, I'm gonna go back and check my chat. Chrome. I'm going to get rid of this live chat thing next time I live stream because it's not working anyways. But one cool thing about it is I could just check my chat this way by just going into it. Alright, so the last we see Faith in the Fallen said, "Hey, Steve-O." So I don't know if there's anything else that's happened since then, but I don't think so. So I'm just going to leave it on this screen and play some music. Ooh, wrong. I hit the camera reversal button instead of the screen stretch button. So I'm going to extend myself to the actual edge of this. So if somebody comes in, I should be able to see the live chat there. So if you're in here, say hi. I'll see the live chat, but I'm going to play some more music. I only got about another 20 minutes before I got to get off, so I'll probably just play music unless somebody shows up and wants to do a quick Google Hangout or get their astrology read. Until then I'm just going to play some music. All right. So, I'm going to play a song that's always tough for me, so I'm probably going to mess up a bit, but that's okay. And it's because it's got this ongoing finger-picking thing through the whole song, and you have to hit every note perfect, and they're all like... It's a lot for somebody who's not good, like me. I'm not good at guitar. So, I'll probably mess up a bit, but I want to try it anyway, and it's called Anyway. Sinking softly, I don't care anyway. I've been lost for so long now anyway. You are the ones that keep my head in the clouds. Ain't any way that I'm gonna come down. You keep my heart awake, you keep my head so high. I don't care if it's a mistake, I just want to fly. I feel so cool with you, ain't nothing I can't do. I hope you feel the same, I'm losing to your game. Everyone that I know says that I should go. I don't know about that, lying here on my back, looking up at the stars, the Milky Way and Mars. I'm stuck inside a dream, sometimes I wanna scream, but I think about your kiss and I don't wanna miss it. Anyway, I feel your fire start and I won't miss it. Anyway, I'll spend my time with you, ain't nothing to your game. Sinking softly, I don't care anyway. I've been lost for so long now anyway. You are the one that keeps my head in the clouds. Ain't any way that I'm gonna come down anyway. Alright, that was called Anyway. Alright, what can I sing next? I'll sing a song I sing a lot, but it's one of my favorite songs I wrote with my brother, and it's called Praying to a Different God. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this song before I play it, and what it actually means to me, because it kind of all just came out. He was playing guitar, and I just started singing, right? And I had a notebook, and we knew we were going to write a song, but it just came out real easy. And I really wrote it before I knew what I wrote, and then I went back and I read it, and I understood it. And what it's about is somebody who always wants to connect spiritually with everything. People, places, things, God. And they're on this mission and they're searching, and they don't really see a lot of other people doing what they're doing. So they're interacting, but they're not really getting back what they're putting in, as well as the prescribed way to interact with God isn't really vibrating with them. And so this is a song about hearing and discovering God through religion, and reading the Bible and finding the beauty in everything in it, but not really buying it as the Word of God. So instead, for this narrator, who is me, it's more about finding God through what's supposedly the Word of God, and finding the pieces that resonate, and then praying to the God that resonates with the individual. That has to be the one interacting with the God, and everything has to actually fit. Otherwise, it's just not right. It just doesn't feel right. So it's about losing the prescription of religion and just being who you are, and realizing that you can interact with God regardless of the way that you do it. So that's what this song's called. It's called Praying to a Different God. I keep holding on to something, even when nothing's at my back. Trying to get loose of all my values, always ending up in someone else's sack. Praying to a different God, using no one else's words. I won't fall down on my knees. I lift my legs up from the dirt. And if you ever have the time, would you ever use that line, the one that made me fall? And I keep chasing all the shadows. I'll write a book about it someday. Who we are, acting up like nothing matters. Oh, who are we to say? Who are we to say? Praying to a different God, using using no one else's words. I won't fall down on my knees. I lift my legs up from the dirt. And if you ever have the time, would you ever use that line, the one that made me fall in love with you, in love with you, in love with you, in love with you. All right. Getting close. I got 10 minutes left. So I'm going to just go through the songs. This one is hopefully one I can get through, but maybe not. We'll see. And it's called What It Is You Mean to Me. So we'll see. I may have to noodle around for a minute before I get going on it. There you go and off into. Didn't you know you were such a fool? I thought I woke up but you were in my head. I guess I better get back into bed. You were the one that I wanted for all time. I was that one for you, but how things change. I don't care if I lose my mind. I just want you for my heart to blame. But if you only wanted one more thing, and it was easy for my heart to bring, I would give anything to falter in your kiss. Over and again, it's your love that I miss. Damn it. Falter in your kiss. Over and again, it's your love that I miss. And you've been waiting for me, just waiting for me to fall. Oh, and you've been waiting for me, just waiting for me to fall. Oh, waiting for me to fall. Just waiting for me to fall. Well, there you finally found your way. I was such a sick person to stay. I guess I'm evil, it's written on my head. I'd be better off if I were dead. Now I'm just feeling sorry for myself. But what's new? It feels like I'm in hell. I guess it's creepy to be so stricken down. I feel like some stupid doped up clown. But if you only wanted one more thing, and it was easy for my heart to bring, I would give anything to falter in your kiss. Over and again, it's your love that I miss. And you've been waiting for me, just waiting for me to fall. Oh, and you've been waiting for me, just waiting for me to fall. Oh, just waiting for me to fall. Oh, just waiting for me to fall. Hey Gemma, I need to practice that song. I should have probably not even started playing it because, yeah, I need to practice that one. I'm trying to think of one I could play real quick. I got about 7 minutes to go, so one more song's about all I'm gonna play, and I want to make sure it's one I actually know I can do well. So I'm trying to think. You know what? I'm gonna do a song that my friend Dustin wrote. We've been writing songs together since we were in high school, and he's taught me a couple of them. And this one is called Rolling Stone. All right. Lately I've been having the strangest feeling that I'm in love again. And this time it's not with just a companion. She's my best friend. And it's hard being alone. And it's hard being a rolling stone. And lately I spend all my time wondering if what I'm doing is right. And even if it don't work out in the end, can't say I didn't put up a fight. And it's hard being alone. And it's hard being a rolling stone. Yes, it's hard being alone. And could you ever love a rolling stone? Hey, Gemma, you were chatting away to me, huh? You were in my driving stream. Yeah, I can't chat back when I'm doing those. Yeah, I have no way of even knowing if anyone's in those, but I appreciate the interaction in the chat. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. Um, I think I'm gonna do less of those because I don't think it's that fair to people like you that come in and then I'm just talking away and can't really interact with me. So I think I'm gonna kind of try to do my live chats more when I can actually say hi and acknowledge people in the chat. So thanks for stopping by, Gemma. Um, hey, thanks, Faith. Fun times always. Is this Samantha or is it? I think it's Justin, right? Um, you guys are awesome. I want you to know that like I really love your music and your songs and your hearts, your Christian hearts. I actually have a lot of Christians in my life. My wife's a Christian, and I I just really think that you guys are doing a great job um, showing Christ and the love of Christ, and I just want to let you know that. Like, I really do love your songs as well. Hey, Sam. Uh, Thank you, Gemma. I'm glad you liked that song. My friend Dustin is an awesome songwriter. Um, and yeah, he lives in Lexington, Kentucky, and I live in Dayton, Ohio, so we're a little over 2 hours away. And it's just hard when you get old and you got families of your own and jobs, but we try to get together every once in a while. So when I do next time get together with him, he plays guitar and he's like really good. And that is how um, really I fell in love with music. It was an acoustic guitar and my friend Dustin playing it. And he 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 wrote songs, but he found out that he thought I played bass. Somehow that had gotten to him because I had a bass guitar, but I was really horrible at it. So he wanted to jam, and he showed up at my door one day because he lived on my street, and he had his guitar, and he quickly found out that I couldn't play bass, but I could sing. So that's kind of how it started with us, and actually my music, everything kind of started at that moment. I had written songs before that, but they were just singing a cappella, Like, I'd actually written whole songs of just singing. And he would just jam around on guitar, and we'd write songs, and I'd get to do the lyrics. And he'd also show up with his own songs. And that was one of them, the one I just played, Rolling Stone, that he showed up with. And he's a great songwriter. You guys, I gotta go. I gotta go pick my son up. Man, it was nice, everyone that stopped by today. I really appreciate it. The interaction and the patience of me kind of jumping around and being scattered, and also the kind words about my music. Appreciate it all. So, everyone, have a great day, you guys. Talk to you later, Samantha and Gemma.